Start, and we're just about ready underway. The countdown is underway.
Attention. Go.
The crews are away. The grand final of the men's varsity IRA championships is on the course and underway. We expect to see a very fast start out of several of these crews, particularly Brown and Harvard. The evidence from the last several days is they are out of the blocks very quickly. Washington, no slouches there themselves. At 500 meters, we'll give you the call. The race is now officially underway. Pretty even now at 150 meters gone. This is an official race for the grand final. Conditions on the course look very flat. In the preceding 2 days, we've had a tailwind. All these crews finishing in the mid 530s. Some very fast times being put in to date. I don't think the conditions will be quite that fast today, but nonetheless, Cooper River is known for some very nice rowing conditions, and we're seeing that here today. At 500 meters, we are approaching the 500 meter mark. The boats are still very even. Washington might have 2 seats on the field, but it's virtually 6 bow balls, bow ball to bow ball across the course. Harvard, Washington are fairly even. Princeton and Brown, and California and Stanford. California has evidenced a relatively slow start but fast finishes here. We'll see how that plays out in this event today. Harvard and Washington even with about 650 meters gone now. The field is very even. It would be Washington and Harvard with a couple of seats, and the only trailing boat would be California. This is very close race. Washington now down 1 seat to Harvard. Stanford next with 1 seat. Brown right with them. Princeton. Cal is running last with a little bit of open water as we move through about 750, 800 meters gone. At the 1,000 meter mark, fairly tight race here. First place very close to call. Maybe 1 or 2 seats for for Harvard. Harvard with 1 seat over Washington. Washington with maybe a seat over Stanford. 3 boats pretty much dead even as we move to the 1,000 meter mark. Cal now starting to move out of lane 4. This is their typical MO. They've moved up into 4th or 5th spot. Washington now trying to keep the wolves at bay as the rest of the boats start to close a bit from behind on them. Harvard looking very solid there. It's Stanford now who has maybe got a half a seat over Harvard and Washington. Pretty much a dead even heat running for first, second, and third. Stanford, Harvard, Washington. Not more than 2 seats separating those 3 crews. California rowing out of lane 4. A very exciting boat race here. It's a very close race for first place. It looks to me as we move into about 500 meters to go, it's Washington in lane 3 with maybe a seat over Stanford in lane 6 and Harvard right in there. Not to be discounted over in lane 1. Over in lane 6 is Brown. We're about 300 meters from the finish line. Washington, undefeated crew as we move into the IRA last 250, a sprint for the final. It's Washington, Brown, Stanford, Harvard, California, and Princeton. Is Washington rowing at a 38 as we sprint for the finish line. California has not asserted itself like expected. Over in lane 6, it's Brown challenging for that second spot. California trailing. It's Washington at the finish line. Harvard now moving up in lane 2, followed by Stanford. It looks like unofficially it's Washington having completed a successful undefeated season. Second place may have gone to Harvard, could have been Stanford. And those are the unofficial results here from the IRA 2007 Grand Varsity Final.